He was just trying to move things ahead. That was all he was doing.
Just so we don't sit here and do what we did last week.
I love last week.
The last thing we want is like last week's show.
Anything but last week.
So what we're doing here is if somebody actually does listen to this show and they hear that comment, they're going to have to listen to the last show just to hear what it is we're trying not to do. That was a good move, Carl. I saw what you did there.
And if you want to comment on the podcast and tell us the topic you'd like for us to talk about, we'll pick a lucky winner and talk about that topic.
But how do we they can comment on the podcast? Can they do that?
Just
is there a place
comment below.
down below? Okay.
yeah, below.
Comment below.
Click the link.
Click on the link.
Click the link.
Like and share. Follow.
Like and share.
Yeah,
follow.
ring the bell. Whatever happens.
Click the bell, right? Whatever you see down there, just click
Twist
on
the
it.
twisty thing and ring the
And if
bell.
there's a place to enter text, just put text in there, whatever question you have. We're going to try and find where it is.
So, Steve, I'm curious about your computer. You a minute ago, you said you were on your laptop because there was some untoward event with your computer.
Yeah. So, my computer's dead. And it's 8 years old, so it's okay. I'm not too angry about it. I'm a little angry about it, but I'm not too angry. So I ordered that cool new mixer I was telling you guys about for my birthday present.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
And it came in, and I was like, yay, I'm so excited. And I plugged in the power, and I plugged in the USB, and I plugged the USB into my computer, and my computer went crack, just made a pop noise.
Oh, no.
And it was dead. The computer was dead, not working at all. And then I called the company that sold it to me, and he's like, I've never heard of this ever happening, ever. He goes, well, turn the mixer on, and let's make sure that's working. The mixer wouldn't turn on either.
Oh.
And so I was like, I don't know what caused this. This is really weird. I said the USB that plugs into the mixer doesn't smell burned, but the one into my computer does smell burned. And so I tried to open the computer and unplug the USB from the motherboard, and nothing turned on still.
So had you used this USB port on your computer for other things before?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the mixer. It's obviously the mixer ate your computer for lunch.
It's gotta be, or I had a little, because everybody's using those little USBs now.
Yeah.
So I got a little converter. And so it's just a tiny thing you plug into the regular size USB, and then the little one goes into that. So they called me yesterday. The salesperson that sold it to me called me and said, man, I don't know what to tell you. I'm so sorry. I've never heard of this happening. The mixers, I'm so sorry. I said, yeah, well, imagine how I feel. I was all excited about this new mixer, and what it cost was not, cheap. And now I have no mixer and no computer, and I don't know what's going to happen. And he said, well, the tech support guy's out today, but he'll call you back tomorrow. So he sent me a note today and said they were going to replace it. So
that's good. Wow.
So they're sending me one right away, and then when I get it, I send back the broken one.
Good.
Yeah. So by the end of the week, I should have everything cooking with gas back here again. So
glad you don't have to buy another mixer.
Yeah, I was going to say they may just be happy to give you another mixer, and not be paying for your computer. So
I'm sure they are. And he said, we can't prove whether the mixer did it or the computer did it. So we're going to replace the mixer. And I said, yep, I'm the same way. I can't prove it either. I'm replacing I was going to get a new computer anyway soon. So I went ahead and did it.
So the name of the company that makes the mixer deserves a mention on our widely known podcast, since they're going to send you another one for free and they don't have to do that.
Sweetwater. If you ever buy sound equipment or anything at all like that, microphones, anything, Sweetwater is the name of the company, and they have real human beings that will talk to you and help you and answer questions. And they're cool people too. They're like, hey man, how you doing? They know what they're talking about. They're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and they back up what they sell. So
Awesome.
Looks like it's musical instruments primarily, microphones,
everything,
drums, recording studio stuff.
yeah,
All things audio. Huh?
podcasting, anything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweetwater.com.
speakers, all that stuff. Yeah, they're awesome. So, and I knew I felt like they were going to do the right thing. I didn't get mad. I just waited it out, and it worked out all right so far.
That's awesome. I've drooled over the Sweetwater catalog many days. I used to, a hobby, in fact, I had years ago, was doing sound at a pretty good-sized church that had live music and all that. And so I was the sound guy, light guy, and all that stuff. And so I got to scratch that itch doing that stuff. And so I was always buying stuff from Sweetwater. So
I had that hobby too. I did the sound at church too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
it was very, very fun. Really good time.
Yeah, I thought it was fun too. I loved like mixing the music.
Yeah.
and it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. And then did you keep up with the slide? Do you have to do the slides for the pastor
for
Yep, I
and
had
for
to
the
do that
words too. So the song, the words for the song, and then the pastor too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Had to do that. And it's always embarrassing when you don't hit the button in time and he's trying to get to the next point and it's not on the slide.
Yeah, because it's like the third service, and you've already done it
Right.
twice.
You've already
and it's
done
sort
it.
of,
And you just kind of fall asleep at the wheel.
Right.
You're not really sure what you're doing anymore. Yeah. There's a really good video on YouTube or a guy that does videos on YouTube. He has videos where he shows, podcasting equipment. He really geeks out on the equipment. So he actually compares microphones. He'll do one. Tom Buck is his name. And so he goes and compares each microphone, and he'll let you hear it, and you can tell which one's better and which one's not better. And it's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at his website. His website is himynameistom.com.
Yeah. And he's he makes a lot of money. He used to be a teacher, I think, and he quit, and he's making money off of podcasting, mainly off of YouTube, I think. But he also does a podcast.
And that's the secret, right, to a great hobby is finding that hobby that's something you really enjoy. Hey, I love microphones, I love audio stuff, all that. And so making that into, hey, I'm just going to play with my microphones, my sound equipment, do my hobby, and I'll make videos, and, there you go.
What a segue.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah, his hobby was the podcast, and he said, don't try and make money off of it because it's just your hobby, and if you do make money off of it, well, that's great, but don't expect.
Before we start that, let's do the intro.
That's a great idea. Because the topic's hobbies, in case you didn't catch that earlier. We tried to get there a couple times and weren't able to.
We could not turn the ship around.
I know.
We just
We're halfway through the podcast and haven't done the intro yet, so I figure maybe it's a good time.
Hey, everybody. This here is the Williams Brothers podcast.
I'm Gar.
I'm Steven.
I'm Neil.
I'm Shaler.
Neil was a little slow there. Like a half beat. Was that me or was that you, me?
Latency.
You?
Latency.
I'll edit that out. No problem.
Yeah, edit that out. That was not.
When Shaler's done, there'll be no breaths. It's just straight talk. It's just like
be-
it's like you're hyperventilating as you listen. It's like how
Gar,
do they
Steve, Neil,
Yeah.
shit.
How do they do that?
I remember, Steve, you worked at a radio station years and years and years ago, and it was during the days of hot hits. And so everybody's, had the coolest music, and there was no dead air whatsoever.
So fast. Yeah.
And I was visiting you once, and you showed me the hack of taking the turntable, and you'd crank up the RPMs by like 0.1 or 0.2 or something like that. So then
That's a real
everybody else
thing.
who heard that song would be like, man, this other station is just not as hip as these guys.
It really does sound, because if you listen to the one that's slightly faster and then you tune into the other one, you're like, this sounds kind of sluggish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Clever trick.
Yeah, there were a lot of tricks like that.
Yeah.
Some people would go too far, and then it's like, why does this sound like the Chipmunks? This is not.
Chipmunks are singing.
Yeah.
Because then the tone would go up too, right? You couldn't do the whole thing
Right.
where
Right, you just sped it all up. So you had to. You couldn't just speed the time up and not affect the pitch.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
So hobbies.
How about those hobbies?
How about those hobbies?
Who wants to start off the hobbies?
Gar?
I think it was Gar's idea. He should probably
Just
start.
brainstorming. I was just brainstorming.
He was just
ideas.
trying to move things ahead. That was all he was doing.
Just so we don't sit here and do what we did last week.
I love last week.
The last thing we want is like last week's show.
Anything but last week.
So what we're doing here is if somebody actually does listen to this show and they hear that comment, they're going to have to listen to the last show just to hear what it is we're trying not to do. That was a good move, Gar. I saw what you did there.
And if you want to comment on the podcast and tell us the topic you'd like for us to talk about, we'll pick a lucky winner and talk about that topic.
But how do we they can comment on the podcast? Can they do that?
Just
Is there a place
comment below.
down below? Okay.
yeah, below.
Comment below.
Click the link.
Click on the link.
Click the link.
Like and share.
Like
Follow.
and share.
Yeah,
Follow.
ring the bell. Whatever happens.
Click the bell, right? Whatever you see down there, just click
Twist
on
the
it.
twisty thing and ring the
And if
bell.
there's a
And
place to enter text, just put text in there, whatever question you have. We're going to try and find where it is and see if we can answer it.
We'll never be able to find it, but thank you for your participation.
Right. We appreciate you.
it just means you weren't selected if we don't pick you. That's all.
Right. We're not what you call tech savvy. Okay, well, I'll talk about I was just thinking about this one because when Gar sent the hobby thing, actually when I saw the hobby comment, I was about to go exercise downstairs, and that's one of my hobbies. I like to go work out downstairs during the workday because it relieves stress, keeps me in good shape. And the reason I started is because when I used to go visit mom and dad, every time I hugged dad, there would be a little less of him there. You know what I mean? Like you'd hug him and his back there'd be less of him there. It would be more bony and like less, he'd be more fragile, just slightly. And so I decided, you know what? I don't want to be fragile. I want to try and hang on to as much of the muscle that I have as I can. And when you get older, it's going to go. There's no way to keep it. But I'm not going to let it go without a fight. So I want to stay as not fragile as I can as long as possible.
I had no idea that's why you started that. I thought it was because you just wanted to be healthier or whatever.
That was the thing that kind of, I guess, kept me going because I probably would have stopped. But when I noticed that about Dad, I was like, I want to be sturdy. And so if I get sick or if I need to pick something up, I've got enough strength to do it, or enough of the standard muscles you need to hold yourself upright and everything. So I guess that's what I was trying to do, is just keep my youth as long as I can. So
cool. I've got a couple of hobbies, I guess, 2 or 3. Some I'm more active in than others. The first one, it's I don't know if you'd call it a hobby. It's Toastmasters, and Toastmasters is an organization that's been around for over 100 years. And it helps people with public speaking. And it's something that I started, probably 8 years ago.
See, this
Something
whole
like that.
time, I thought it was all about making perfect toast. No? Okay.
How is the toast?
Just
honestly?
talking. You're just talking then. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's just talking. Not nearly as hard as making
A lot of
Do you
people
talk about making toast? Is
No.
that no?
No.
I mean, you'd think you would just be masters of toast.
Now, come on.
yeah.
Seriously. So think about this, right? 90% of the world, their biggest fear is having to get up in front of people and speak in a formal way, right?
That's true.
It is terrifying to some people. And some people come by it, quite naturally, but most people, it is terrifying. And so this takes you from a place where you are literally gripping the lectern and just trying to get through and read your first speech to being very at ease in a group of 50 or 100 or 1,000, and you know what you're going to say, and if something goes wrong, you know how to handle it. It is just practicing public speaking is what it's all about. It's helpful at work. It's helpful in social situations. It's just a great organization. It helps so many people, and
I will say your toast at your daughter's wedding was the best. It was an awesome toast.
It was a good toast.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of drinking involved? I'm just thinking if you're toasting, I mean,
Well,
is it
there's
like
gotta be.
by the end of that meeting, are you like hammered? Or
Yeah.
You would think so.
I'm asking. What happens at Toastmasters stays at Toastmasters.
That's
You
fine.
guys,
That's cool.
What am I supposed to say? You guys, come on. You know better than that.
Look at
You know
Neil.
better than that.
Neil's day drinking. He's like, you know what? I'm not. I'm not.
7 o'clock at night. What do you mean? The podcast gets better as we go.
I don't
actually.
even have to go to work anymore. I'm just gonna sit around and drink Miller Lite.
It's king of beers, man. It's the king
It
of
is.
beers.
The champagne of beers.
The champagne. That's right. Sorry, the
Yeah,
champagne.
Budweiser's
beers.
king of beers.
Yeah.
So.
Champagne's better.
Yes.
Champagne of beers is better.
So, what other hobbies? We've got exercise and Toastmasters.
So I talked a little bit about the audio thing, the doing sound. That was a
right.
hobby,
Yeah.
for a while. And I've just kind of had a technology hobby, for a while as well, which usually manifests itself with Kickstarters or cool gadgets that you can get. And, it sounds really cool when you see the ad for it. I've got this little remote control car, Wi-Fi remote control car with a camera that I can drive around the house when I'm not home. Mm-hmm. After you do that a couple of times, not a whole lot of thrill there. So that one didn't work out quite as well. And then I had a drone too. Mm-hmm. I know Shaler's way into drones, but I had, I've got a little Parrot drone. In fact, it's over here somewhere. And that was fun too for a little while. But after you've flown it some and it's sort of like, okay, I got some cool pictures, then it kind of lost interest in that one too. And then running been a hobby too. I'm kind of getting back into that now and,
good.
and to trying to get back in shape and help to work with stress and just feel better and burn off some energy.
Yeah, I see you coming across my my Apple phone that Neil just completed a workout.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
It doesn't take a lot for the Apple to say it was a workout, but
That's half the good thing about working out is.
that's right. Telling
I
your
think
friends.
I saw a meme like that somebody put on my page when I used to post every time I worked out. It said, "I hardly ever post on Facebook, but when I work out, I do," or something like that. I was going to say, there's a rule in droning, and I have a little drone that's just barely light enough to not need a license. And I live in between two airports, so I've got probably a 1 mile swath that I can fly in. And if I go beyond that, I'm in trouble. And helicopters are flying from one airport to the other. Airplanes are too, really low. So I'm always having to get down fast because I'll hear a helicopter coming or something. And so there's a rule that you have to be able to see your drone at all times, which really kills the fun. But you're supposed to be able to see your drone at all times. And actually that's good because you don't hit trees and stuff as often. But like the time Neil was coming to visit and I flew my drone around the corner to catch he and Robin pulling up, and then I went right into a tree. And,
So last drone story, and this is the same drone, the Parrot drone that I've got. So this was when I first got it, and we were living in an apartment because we had just moved, and so I'm looking at this thing where you can set waypoints and have it go fly routes, and I'm like, this is really cool. And I had a couple of beers, but so I got this.
It's the other thing you're not supposed to do.
Right, yeah. And there's a car dealership near the apartment, so I'm like, I'm going to have it fly over to this, over this car dealership and back around and whatever. And so I've got it finally all mapped out on the phone, and I hit the button. And it takes off and it just goes. And I was like, well, I really wasn't ready. I mean, I was, I didn't really, I thought it was going to say, are you sure? But it didn't. It just took off. And that's about the point that I realized that the start point that I told it where I was not actually where I was standing. So, so it took off and it flew, it was gone. And it was gone and of course it was out of my phone's Wi-Fi or whatever range. So it was just gone. I drove the car around looking for it, couldn't find it. I finally walked to the end of the apartments with my phone, and my phone picked up a signal, and I hit the takeoff button, and it took off, just kind of came up off the ground right next to some water. It had not gone in the water, and I went back and looked at the video.
That's good.
And the video did exactly what I wanted to do. It took off, made a nice turn, came back around, missed the radio tower, so it was really a win-win. And never again.
I got to tell this drone story. So yours wasn't the last drone story, but I'm sorry. This was a really good drone story. So I was flying around and a helicopter started coming, a big one. I could hear it coming closer, and I was freaking out because I knew I had to come down, but I wasn't right where I could see my drone. I was looking around on my phone, and so I'm like coming down, and I landed it basically at the very, very tip top of a gum tree. So literally probably 80 feet to 100 feet up.
Wow.
And I looked up, and there it was. Still, it's in my backyard, but it's at the very top of that tree. And the light, I can see the light flashing on my drone. And I'm like, oh, man. And there's a thunderstorm coming. I just thought, because my wife bought me this for my birthday or for Christmas or something, and I was just thinking, I can't believe I've only had this for like a month, and I've landed at the top of a tree. And so I started calling tree places the next day. So all night it's up there flashing. I can just go outside and see it up there flashing, and I knew thunderstorms are going to come the next day. And so sure enough, the thunderstorms were on their way. I called this tree place. They're like, yeah, we can come by and, shoot a gun up at it or whatever. And, if it hits it, it could destroy it, but we can give it a shot. And they were going to do it for free. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, if you get it down in a way that I can use it again, I'll give whoever does it $100. And so I went and picked up, and the thunderstorms are coming and wind's picking up and everything. Trees are going back and forth. I went and picked up $100 cash. So if they showed up or when they showed up, I would have it. And I got back, and it was in the pine straw. It had blown out of the tree from the thunderstorm, and it still works. Everything is cool. So I had to call him back and go, sorry, never mind. But that feeling of looking up at it with the light flashing and just there's nothing I can do. It's just...
It wouldn't take off from up there.
No, because it was the propellers were like in the limbs.
Oh,
so every time I tried to make it take off, it just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So it was just like it wasn't moving. So I was real lucky.
Shaler, do you have a drone story for us?
I don't know anything about drones.
Any hobbies around drones, maybe?
He flies drones for a living, by the way.
I mean, I fly drones for a living. That was my hobby, right? So that was a hobby until it turned into a career. So that's one.
That's winning. That's the whole goal, right? Of the hobby is to monetize the hobby.
Winning at life.
Right, right. And I found myself doing a lot of podcast editing in the recent months. So
and you're good at that, too. You do a good job with that.
Shouldn't take much with us. I mean...
Well, I know. I mean, we're practically one-take wonders. I mean...
Right. 15, 20 minutes a week.
Yeah, not a problem. Takes us like 20 minutes to do a 30-minute podcast.
That's another one you could monetize. People get paid big bucks for that.
Anything else that's been a hobby in the past? Like, I know you guys are killer gift givers. Like, when you guys give a gift, it's a thought-through kit full of fun and excitement.
That's a fact.
It's never just a gift. It's like a whole thing,
Assembly required.
Yeah. And the moose, remember the moose?
Billy Bob and Bubba's famous Indian moose pie cookies?
Yes.
There you go.
Another sponsor.
That was nothing more than Duncan Hines cookie mix, and I literally sifted the chocolate chips out of the mix so I could separate them into a small bag, and then I put them in a put them in a jar with a label, and
So you just
There
stole
you go.
somebody's mix,
the original one that I handed
Separated
out
it
for
out.
Christmas,
resold it
what's
as
the
a
word?
different thing.
disassembled,
Disassembled, disintegrated. I don't know.
I don't
Oh
know.
no, it's deconstructed.
Thank you. That's the word.
That's it.
That's the word. I was like,
Deconstructed.
That was the
Deconstructed.
original. That was
All
the
right,
original
that's
one.
what chefs do. Yeah.
We'll be having a deconstructed cookie for
Yes.
dinner.
A deconstructed grilled cheese sandwich where you've got 2 pieces of toasted bread and a piece of cheese.
Cheese. That's lovely.
Delicious.
Speaking of sandwiches, didn't you do ham radio, Neil?
I caught the ham bug a little bit, so I have a small. I just have a handheld radio that talks to repeaters, and it also does some digital stuff, and I enjoy playing around with it more than I actually talk on it. But it's pretty cool. Most of the people I hear talk on it, they're pretty much just saying, "Hey, this is Bob in Germany." And then they're talking about the weather, and the other guy's saying, "Yeah, I'm in Sacramento," and it's like a 3-minute conversation, and that's
And then they log it.
Yeah, you log it. Yeah, there's a website that's kind of like Facebook for ham radio people, and there are people that have every contact in this website. So
This
it's
has
cool.
been a hobby for Gar, not ham radio, but radio since he was probably
15?
14, yeah, something like that, tying wire around batteries, bare copper wire, and
Yep.
throwing it into the trees to make the perfect antenna, and then attaching it to his CB radio to talk to Jody in the a block away.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And then I remember Dickie, the next door neighbor, who was
Yeah.
who was throwing some wire up for an
Man.
antenna, and hit the other wire, hit the power
power
line,
line.
and
Yeah, went over the top, missed the tree, and went over the top power lines, which were there's no insulation, and it's
apparently,
high voltage.
no.
And he had the wire wrapped around his hand, so it burned his hand really badly. Just like scarring on his hand. And the best part was, and kids came from blocks around to come see this. His footprints, he had bare feet, and he was standing in the grass, and his footprints, the grass died where he was standing. So people came to see Dickie Lowden's footprints, and he lived through it. So
Oh, yeah. Yep.
another one.
Fortunately, the wire was very thin, so it didn't take long for it to burn through.
Yeah, melted immediately, I think, but just
Yeah.
that split second.
That reminds me of my first electronics project that I really did on my own. I went on later in the Navy and did a bunch of electronic stuff, but my first electronic project at home, I had this little switch box from Radio Shack, and you could plug 3 things into it and then push a button and turn those 3 things on, like a lamp or whatever it was. And it was cool, and used it all the time. Mm-hmm. And I had a pen light that I'd gotten for Christmas or birthday or something, a little flashlight, couple of AA batteries. And so I just logically thought, well, if this box turns on a lamp, clearly it'll light up this bulb. So I got some antenna wire. I stuck.
Okay.
That's what that smell was.
Who
I stuck
didn't do
the
this?
wires into the outlet.
Perfect.
And then I had to somehow attach the wires to the battery, and I knew I had to have one wire on the side, one on the bottom, so I just held on to it. So I just had it in my hand,
Oh, my gosh.
and I pushed the button to turn the power on, and all I remember is flames coming out of the box up to my hand, and I had a blister on my thumb, and I think I was in shock, and I probably threw everything in the trash, hit it all, whatever.
right,
and then,
right.
you know.
This didn't happen.
Right, exactly. I was probably, I don't know.
We did a
8
lot of
years
stuff
old.
like
Who
that
knows?
growing up, where we would like try and bug each other with pieces of microphones that we had taken apart and put back together, or try and tap the phone line, like like because everybody had a phone jack in their
yeah.
room,
Right.
And so
And you
you'd
could.
try and figure out how to tap the phone. I mean, I don't know what was up with us, but we were really big on trying to spy on whatever was going on.
It was Mission Impossible. It was.
And the easy thing to do was we had the intercom system, so you could always listen in using the intercom system somehow, and that was super cool. Put it over into listen. I think wasn't there like a switch?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You could listen to what was going on in the other people's rooms.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing really worth hearing, but it was just the fact that you were listening and you knew what they were doing was
and
enough.
they didn't know you were listening.
Right,
That was
exactly.
So cool.
Or you could hide stuff in the intercom between Gar's room and Neil and Shaler's room because the two intercoms backed up to each other.
Yep.
So you could just put stuff in there and hide it.
Wonder whatever became of the intercoms.
I don't know. I wonder if they took them out.
We sold that house. Yeah, we sold that house. All that stuff was still in there.
So I think Dad actually had taken the intercoms in the bedrooms out, and he had put a piece of paneling in there.
Oh, right.
In place of it. So,
yes.
But I'm sure, at least I guess, the one that was in the kitchen was still there. Is that right?
Yeah, it was
still there.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
Wouldn't turn on.
Right.
Yeah, and the wires are still in the walls.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the speaker's still outside.
Yeah.
The one that was on the brick wall.
Speaker,
Yeah, there's one front and back.
Yeah.
And it's funny to think that house wasn't huge and we had those intercoms, across the house. And today, what do you do if you have to talk to somebody across the house?
Call them on the phone.
On your cell phone.
Yeah.
That's right. Or text them.
Bounces off a tower to China.
In our house, we call each other on ham radio.
Do you?
Oh, is that right?
No, not
CQ.
right.
Can you hear me in the back of the house?
You seem to know something about this.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Wow. Man. Not as naive about this as I thought.
Right.
It's interesting, though, because you have to have a license. So it's not just somebody goes and buys a ham radio and starts talking. You actually have to study and take a test and all that stuff. So it's a little bit of an entry bar there, at least. Keep the riffraff out. And there's Morse code people out there that are all into the Morse code.
I'm kind of old school. I use Morse code pretty much exclusively. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Yep.
Mostly just SOS. That's all I got.
Right. That's all I remember.
Right.
That's a good one to know. That's a
You
good,
have to
definitely
know
a good
just
one
those
to know.
letters, right?
Yeah. What hobby would you like to try that you haven't done?
I think I'd like to fly an airplane. I've got Flight Simulator, but I think flying like a small airplane would be a fun thing to do, to learn to do,
Yep, I'm there. I'm exactly there. I'd love to learn to do that, and I'm always looking to see how much is it, and it's like $15,000 to $20,000 to get your private pilot license, and by the time you pay for fuel and all that other stuff, it's just so expensive. But I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Dawn's always asking me if I want to do that, and I'm like, I'm really good with the flight simulator. That's a good hobby. I can fly the flight simulator, and if I crash, I'm okay. No problem. I can fly again. I've never really. The more I've thought about it, the more I thought, I don't really need to have an airplane. Fly an airplane. I don't really want to do that. Anybody ever ridden in a Cessna before? Like one of those little Cessnas?
I have. I've also ridden in a World War II trainer. It was the
cool.
Texan. Yeah. It was actually a birthday present when I was, about 10 or 15 years ago. And I got to sit in the front seat, and then there was a stunt pilot in the back seat.
Oh, wow.
And he took me out over a field, and we did loops and barrel rolls and aileron rolls and all. And he would do it, and then he would talk me through it, and then I would do it. And he controlled the power, but I controlled the stick and the rudder.
Oh, wow.
And
that's awesome.
Oh yeah, it was terrific. The only thing was it was an older airplane. And so the first thing they do is they strap you into a parachute that you're sitting on. And he said, if I tell you to get out of the plane and you look back behind you to look at me, I'm not going to be there. So if I tell you to get out of the plane, get out of the plane. And the parachute will open, and you'll bounce off of the wing and the tail, and then you'll fall to earth, and you'll be fine, maybe. So
Yeah, I flew in one when I was 18 with a friend. We were in San Diego, California, and we decided we were going to go skydiving. So we took off in the Cessna. We did not land in the Cessna. We jumped out of the airplane with parachutes on, And you didn't have this whole, tandem, you're strapped to somebody else. It was just you had a static line, so the parachute pulled and you jumped out. And you had a little radio on your chest, and they would tell you which way to steer because there are mountains around. They don't want you to hit the mountains. And they had a big wooden arrow on the ground they would turn so you could look down and see which way you should be facing.
Oh, that's
cool. Somehow we lived through that.
I can't believe you jumped out of a Cessna.
Yeah, at 18, you're bulletproof. So
Right.
I'm not sure you could get me out of the plane. I don't think I could do
Not
that.
now.
No, I mean, no. You'd have to do a lot of pushing to get me out of that plane. So
I remember Neil saying after he did that he was never, ever going to do that again.
I got a picture. I don't have to do it again.
Right,
It's in a picture.
exactly.
So,
been there, done it, got the T-shirt.
exactly. You see the back of my hand? You can tell it's my hand.
Yep.
That's all you need to know.
That's right. That's right.
So what hobby have you tried that you're not interested in trying again?
I had a rock polisher. Remember my rock polisher?
I do remember that.
Not much fun. Not a good time.
You didn't have to watch it the whole time. You really could
That's
just let
true.
it.
I guess I should have gone out and played.
for those 3 days it took to.
It's more like a month. It took a long time. Put it in the garage. The thing just churned away for a month.
Find sand in it or whatever. And it would just
Right. Look, the rocks are
Look,
smooth
we have
now.
smooth rocks. Wow.
Ooh.
Only cost $300 in electricity to
Right.
smooth out those rocks.
And then button
do
making. I
some
made
more.
buttons for a while. That
Yeah.
was fun.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
That's a good one.
The
Another
button
thing
making
that's like,
company.
okay.
What was it called?
What do you guys?
Neil, you had the company.
The buttonhole.
Oh, that's right.
buttonhole.
Well, that was the company you bought the thing from, right? Or was it called the button?
Well, no,
No.
that was our branding of
Oh,
the
okay. Gotcha.
of the
Yeah.
product.
The button.
I believe I was your salesperson for a while there.
button hole.
So I sold quite a few buttons.
What about golf? Have you guys played golf?
I have.
Do you play golf?
I have played golf. I don't really enjoy it.
I played a little golf, and I played best when the person I'm playing with really knows how to play golf, and they say, Neil, if you do your hands like this or move your feet, then I can play pretty well.
Yeah.
But I never played enough to really get good, because that's the thing. Golf, you've got to keep playing. You've got to get that muscle memory down. I just never played long enough.
I like fly fishing because it's real similar. Like where it's like every little teeny thing matters, that you're doing your golfing. The same with fly fishing, but nobody's really watching you and keeping score, and there's nobody waiting behind you for you to finish. You don't have that pressure. So, and it doesn't cost as much either. You can just go find a stream and get out there and cast.
Disc golf's another one. So my son Tyler plays disc golf in tournaments, and that's pretty cool too, because you have the dynamics of golf. You've got the holes and all that kind of thing, but it's not, you don't have the golf clubs and all that. Obviously, you just have discs, which you could call frisbees, but they're discs.
Yeah.
So you have putters and you have various
Different discs
that are like clubs. Yeah.
Wow.
Depending on the way, the angle of them, how flat they are, and things like that. So it's a whole cult, I think. So.
So then you have to have like a backpack with you with your discs in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And it's got to be the right backpack, right? You have to have a disc golf, backpack.
I got to come up with something like that. Some kind of game that you can play where you have to buy a bunch of special things, not just one. And then you also need other things like backpacks and clothes.
It's got its own language. It's all, all that.
You know what we didn't talk about that might be fun would be shooting, like clay pigeons.
Yeah.
Never done that before. It looks like a lot of fun.
I've done that a couple of times. Skeet shooting, that's fun.
I have
should do
never,
it.
ever in my life fired a weapon.
Really?
We
Never.
Let's fix that.
Never fired a weapon. I'll come up. We'll fire a weapon.
We can do
I've
it.
got like 5 rifles sitting in my closet right now.
I live a mile from the block factory. And I've thought about getting one just for protection, because the people who used to live in this house had a gun safe in the closet over here.
Dude.
And I mean, they had weaponry in there. And I thought, maybe there's a reason. Maybe I need a weapon in case drug addicts come to steal stuff from my garage. One of my neighbors up the street has a good story about how a guy was trying to break into his van. He's a handyman that does like work for people all over town. Mm-hmm. And he's Irish. So hearing him tell the story was awesome. But he grabbed his nail gun and went after the guy.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Nice. Shooting his nail gun at him. He said the guy crawled under the van, shimmied under the van, and then ran away as fast as he could. He didn't know if he hit him with a nail or not, but he said if he had, that it would have gone in.
It would have hurt. Yeah.
Extremely powerful nail gun. So, yeah.
Anytime you want to shoot, man, let me know. I've got a membership down the street.
Oh, yeah?
Actually.
Wow.
Yeah. And or we can just Atlanta. I think Atlanta you can just do it anywhere, right? You don't
Yeah,
have to go
you can
inside,
shoot anywhere. They do it all the time. From your car, at the club, in the parking lot.
That's good to know.
Afterwards, yeah. Well, that's our podcast.
It was a good podcast.
There's the end of
That
it.
was it.
It was a good podcast.
Next week, we're going to talk about. Oh, I think we talked about everything in this one. We ran out.
We're all out of podcast ideas.
It's our last podcast.
This is number 8,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah, this is when most people give up. So I don't want to, I don't want to be an outlier or anything. We might as well just give up now.
That sounds good.
We could do best advice you ever had.
Ooh,
a good
good.
one.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best piece of advice and worst piece
Oh,
of
that's
advice
good too,
anyone
yeah.
ever gave you.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
If you're not first, you're last.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
The Williams Brothers Podcast is made possible by a grant from the Saunce Group. Do something good every chance you get. And by the Williams Foundation. The theme song is 5-Card Shuffle by Kevin MacLeod.
The homemade raft didn't do it for you. Of course, we were younger with the homemade raft.
Oh, man. I know,
true.
but Dad was fully grown. That's what I always think about that. Like, for our listener, we had a piece of a dock that had cut loose from its dock. So it's just a platform with styrofoam that was like half coming out from under it, and we stuffed the styrofoam back under it again, and it was a big square raft. And Dad found it and decided to do this, and so we paddled around the creeks of Savannah on this big square piece of a dock, and had a great time. And I've always thought about that, about how I didn't care. It was great. It was fun. It was the best. Dad, on the other hand, he's a full-grown person with a family, and he's out rowing around on a piece of a dock.
And it seems like it had to be low tide to walk out onto the marsh to get to
Right.
it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there was
It's
a
the only way we
timing
could-
element.
yeah.
I remember that went with the whole thing. And I think
And
Mr. Lindsay may have been an accomplice early on in that. Maybe I can't remember, but.
That's good.
Well, and we got it underneath Tootin's Bridge, and we tied it off. Remember that
Yeah.
bush that kind of hung over the causeway?
Yeah.
And so we tied so no one could see it, hopefully. Probably ended up as part of Mr. Tootin's dock.
Probably.
I was going
That's
to
where
say, I
that
wonder
went.
whose dock it was before we got a hold of it. Because they probably
Hey,
were
law
like,
of the
"Hey!"
sea, right? Law of the sea. If Eli lost it at sea,
right.
it's just
That's right. International waters.
it's just there, right? That's right.
Yeah, that was fun.